All right, welcome and good morning. We're going to start seated in the middle of your mat. Come to utkatasana pose. Your option whether you like to take your dominant leg in front or the other leg in front. First, just take a few moments, swing a bit from side to side with your eyes closed or a loose gaze. Just try to find that center place. So maybe a little rock left and right, front to back. Notice your weight distribution. One side is going to feel different than the other. Maybe take a little bit of nodding in your head, side to side, front and back. Again, just noticing your physical state. And then see if you can come to a center place. You're rising up to the crown of your head. Slightly tone core to keep yourself sitting very tall. Send your chin back in space about 1/2 inch so that you've got the long back of your neck. And your ears are generally over where your shoulders are. And in this posture, start to breathe in a little bit more deeply. Exploring your breath, seeing how wide and spacious it can become. How evenly you can exhale. Notice the quality of your thoughts this morning, the color, the shape. And then I invite you to set a dedication for this practice. Something that I've been working on lately and talking about a bit is santosha. So you might consider that contentment, self-acceptance, acceptance of what is, without judgment, letting it be. We'll take a few breaths together as a community to solidify the dedications that we've each set individually, and recognizing that as a group, we've done this. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let go. Again, a deep inhale. Find lots of spaciousness and openness. Exhale to let it go. Once more on your own for yourself. Then on an inhale, with your eyes opened or closed, reach your arms out and up. Your palms press above your head, and your gaze up where you're toward your thumbs. And on an exhale, bring your hands all the way down until your thumbs are to your heart center. Send your gaze all the way down, even if your eyes are closed. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, press your palms together, elbows out wide. As you bring your thumbs to the center of your chest, your gaze comes down, eyes open or closed. Final 10 like that. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, take it all the way down to Anjali Mudra. Then lift your head up, blink your eyes open. If your eyes were closed, take the hands to your knees and then switch out the change of your legs if you're starting to get a little bit stiff in that position. You're going to simply walk your hands forward and you're going to lean out. So you might come to a place that feels about right. You want to come to an edge, but nothing that hurts, nothing that causes you any kind of actual discomfort, perhaps just sensation. See if you can allow your head to drop down. If that causes anything in the back of your neck, then make a pillow with your hands, with your fists. In this posture, completely reclined forward. Where can you loosen? Where can you let go? Notice if this position brings up anything in your thoughts. Send your breath through all sides, also noting through the back side of your body. If your arms are out in front of you, place your hands down. If you're using your hands like a pillow, place your hands down. Start to press your way up. Your head is still heavy. And eventually you'll roll your head up. Again, if you want to switch out your legs, you can. If you're feeling like this is a spot to be, then stay where you are. With your hands behind you, interlace your fingertips. And then bring your intertwined hands over towards your right hip. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Notice if your left knee starts to crank its way up, gently guide it back down. Find equal weight between your sit bones. Move your intertwined hands away from your right hip. Bring your head up. Take your fists over to the left side. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. And again, if you notice you're starting to really fall over to the right, shift the weight back to the right. I'm sorry, over to the left, fall over to the right. We're looking for equality. And then take your head up, unwind your fingertips, and take your hands to your knees. We're going to take 3 circles and hip circles in either direction. So I'm going to start to my right, my inhale, I'm taking it forward, really reaching out. My exhales draw me all the way back, making a cat-like shape, finding lots of mobility. And then just give yourself an inventory. What is feeling sticky? What is not? Once you complete 3 revolutions, take the other way. And after that 3rd time, come up to your regular seat. Roll over onto your hands and knees, tabletop position. Spread your fingertips wide, knees below your hips. We're going to take a few rounds of cow and cat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift up your hips, wrap your inner elbows forward, gaze up, press through your hands and the tops of your feet or your toes. Exhale, opposite shape, make your cat, press away from the mat. Inhale, swim it forward again for your cow pose. Full deep inhale. Exhale, really engage your core, pull your belly button up towards your spine as you reach your spine up toward the ceiling. Once more, either pose. Inhale for your cow. Exhale, press up to cat. And then come back down onto neutral pose for your tabletop. We're going to take and thread the needle. So shift the weight to your left palm. Inhale, right fingertips are up, gaze up. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath. Come onto your right shoulder. Make sure that your left hip is still gently drawing back and it's not swinging out to the left. You can stay here or walk your left hand forward ahead of you. And then potentially wander it even more over to the right. Still angle your inner elbow of your left arm up. When you're ready, if you took that variation, begin to wiggle your fingertips back to where you began. Press to the left hand. Inhale, right fingertips come up, unfurl once again. Exhale, right hand comes down. Shift the weight to that hand. Inhale, left fingertips come up. Create lots of space. Exhale, wind your left arm underneath. Come onto your left shoulder. And then again, if you want, reach right arm out. Make sure that your inner elbow is pointed up so you're really engaging your shoulders. And then if you like, tiptoe your fingers over toward the left corner of your mat. 3 breaths. At the end of that 3rd exhale, start to walk your hand back to where it began, below your right shoulder. Press through that hand, left fingertips, unfurl, inhale. Exhale, right back down. Halasana, puppy dog pose, melting heart. Again, drop your inner elbows forward, just like you were doing in your cow pose. Walk your hands toward the corners of your mat. Fingertips spread wide, hips over knees. Start to drop your chest down. You might come a little bit. You might come a lot of it. Gaze out in front of you. Very strong hands like you're doing a downward facing dog. Be gentle. And then on your exhale, press through your hands and knees, lift your way back up. Walk your hands back to where they were. Tuck your toes, send your hips back, reach your arms out as far as they can go, and then start to lift your hips up, unfurl to downward facing dog. First one of this class, maybe the first one today. So give yourself a little bit of movement I don't know if my ankle is making noises coming through the microphone or not. And then step your hands about one hand's distance closer, so you're in a squatty dog. And I'm going to take a little bit of a crisscross variation. Reach your right arm across to your left thigh, calf, or ankle. Your left hand is very, very strong. Left arm is strong. Continue to pull your left hip back gently. And then draw your chest towards your left thigh. Replace the right hand in parallel with the other, and then pick up your left hand, reach for your right thigh, calf, or ankle. Again, right hip is gently drawing back so you can share the weight between both of your feet. You're not arcing all the way over to the right. And then replace that left hand next to the other. Walk your hands back to that downward facing dog distance, stepping your hands back out, another hand's length. And then let's just check distance. Inhale, lift to toes, roll to the top of a plank pose. Adjust as you need to get that right distance. And then on an exhale, take your chin to your chest, hop up your back, and then roll up and back to downward facing dog. Place the weight to your left foot, right leg lifts up and back, tripod dog. Bend your knees, open up through your hips. Keep your right shoulder in line with the left. Re-straighten the leg, place your foot next to the other. Shift the weight to the right leg. Left leg lifts up, bend knees, open up through your hips, point your knee up toward the ceiling, heel toward your thumb. Re-straighten that leg and then place it next to the other, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, travel to the top, forward fold. Give yourself a ragdoll pose first, so bend your knees, let your chest rest on your thighs. Elbows to hands perhaps. Find some looseness. And then drop your fingertips to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips press against the mat or your shins, gaze forward. Exhale, very strong forward fold, chest to thighs. Take your hands to your hips, point your elbows up toward the ceiling, roll your shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, come up all the way to standing. Exhale, arms alongside your body, Tadasana pose. Just as you did when you were seated. Shift your weight a little bit left and right, front and back. Find that point of balance. Explore where it may be. Might be slightly different than what you first anticipated. And we'll flow through a sun salutation. A, on an inhale, lift arms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back to the top of a plank pose. On an exhale, lower to your mat or to chaturanga, elbows raised in your rib cage. Untuck toes, inhale for a back bend, either up dog or cobra. On an exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Second time, exhale. Third time, bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Exhale, fold. On an inhale, root to rise, reach your arms out and up. Come up to standing on an exhale, hands to heart center. And then arms alongside your body. Inhale. Exhale, reset. We'll take that once more. Inhale, arms lift, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, offer your heart up. Exhale, fold to your uttanasana. Step back to top of plank pose. Exhale, lower to or toward your mat. Untuck toes for your back bend, deep inhalation. Exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Find a long, slow breath. Offer yourself some compassion. And then bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up to standing, press your feet down and away from each other. On an exhale, take your hands to heart, then alongside your body. Take your toes to touch, heels slightly apart. And then you're going to lift your arms up toward the ceiling, maybe palms to press, perhaps shoulder width. And then sit low into a chair pose. So shift the weight back towards the heels. Maybe your biceps are coming back alongside your ears. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, stand. Exhale, sit low. Find the dynamic movement, continue to move with your breath. One more time, your inhales, you get tall, you stand. Final exhale, come to your chair pose. And then forward fold, release your hands, lift your hips up, separate your feet, hips width distance. Bend your knees so much that your chest is on your thighs. Take your peace fingers around both of your big toes, thumb to the top of the toenail. Inhale, halfway lift, create separation of your chest to thighs. And then on an exhale, you're going to start to reach your chest back toward your thighs. Elbows come out to the side. It's okay if your knees are bent so that you can touch your toes here. There's absolutely no problem with that. Continue to work your shoulders away from your ears. Notice that they're crunching up. Make space. And even here, what happens with your posture, if you are starting to shift forward or back on your feet, what happens when you press your feet down and away from each other? Become an observer. Soften your forehead. And then release your hands, take a ragdoll pose once again. So a soft forward fold. Release your fingertips down to the mat. If you took that version of taking a class, inhale, half lift, gaze forward, strong belly. Exhale, fold, step back to top of plank pose. If you'd like to take a vinyasa, please do. We will meet in downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg up and back, long, straight, strong, in a tripod dog. Lift up onto your left toes, pull your right knee in towards your chest and place your foot between your hands toward right thumb for a low lunge. Option to take the left knee down if you'd like. I'll be keeping mine up. Place more weight to your left palm, peel your right fingertips up, low lunge twist. Spin all of your toes to the right. You come to the razor edge of your left foot for an IT band stretch. Flex both feet, lift up hips, press through left hand. Continue to reach inner left elbow forward. Engage your muscles. You can stay right here for the stretch, or if you'd like, move to full vasistasana. Stack the right foot on top of left. Lexi, I'm laughing because of you. Vasistas. All right, if you've taken that side plank variation, place your right foot back where it began, so we are all back in that upward IT band stretch. Spin all your toes back to the front of the room. Take your right hand down. And then you're going to step back to a tripod dog. So pull your right heel towards your bum, lifting up. Take it up and back. And then place your foot next to the other, back to downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Next breath in, left leg up and back for tripod. Lift up onto your right toes, even more lift. Exhale, pull your left knee towards your chest. Place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Again, option to take your knee down if you want to take that. Mine will be up. Weight to right palm. Left fingertips are up. Low lunge twist. Explore this first. And then take it further. If you'd like to spin your toes away from you, IT band stretch. Flexing both feet. Lifting up through the hips. And then if you want to take another variation, stack left foot on top of right. Side plank vasistasana. See if you can still find that Tadasana posture, really long, straight. Those of you in side plank, left foot comes back to where it began. Awkward posture, IT band stretch. Then spin all of your toes toward the front of the room, left hand comes down. We're gonna go into that tripod dog. Pull left heel up toward your bum, shift it up and back. And then on an exhale, place your foot next to the other, downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg goes up and back. Exhale, place your foot between your hands toward right thumb. Angle in your left foot. So we're gonna move, don't move just yet, but we're moving to a warrior one. So you want your left foot pointed in about 45 degrees, so a fair amount. Right hip pulls back, Press through both feet, and then unravel to pose. Arms lift up, pinkies facing toward each other, sit low. See if you can find a little bit of energetic movement, pulling your right hip back, left forward, pulling your belly and lower ribs in as you sit lower. Straighten the front leg, and then turn toward the long side of your yoga mat to the left, toes in, then heels out. Goddess pose, sit low. Start to bring your knees down and back. Elbows in line with shoulders, fingertips slide. If you need a little bit of a bounce, speed through. Do what you need. All right, then straighten your legs, hands down. This time pivot your heels out. So the outsides of your feet are parallel to the short sides of your mat. Hands to hips, inhale, lift up. Exhale, hinge your way forward. Take it all the way down, and then when you're ready, drop your hands to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deepen. What happens in this pose when you lift up on your kneecaps, and when you use your core strength to tilt your bum up and then reach your chest down. Remember to shift the weight more to the balls of your feet. Then inhale, come up halfway, get out of your pose. And you're gonna wander back to the front of the mat, so you end up in a low lunge. All toes are facing in the same direction. Step your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to hips, elbows to ceiling. Roll your shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, come up to standing. Bring your toes together, heels slightly apart. Arms lift up toward the ceiling. Press your palms together if that is comfy. All right, on an exhale, start to sit into chair pose. Get low. Inhale, come to stand. Press through your feet. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, come to stand. Keep your core engaged. Exhale, sit low. Final time to come to stand. Final chair pose. Sit low. And then drop your hands down toward the mat. Allow your legs to straighten. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Exhale, fold, make your way back to downward facing dog vinyasa if you would like to take it. When you're ready, on an inhale, left leg up and back, create space. On an exhale, place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Right foot is going to be coming in, so the bottom part of our body is in warrior one. Left hip pulls back even here. Before we take our hands away from the mat, press to the outer edge of your right foot. Maybe even check the distance between your feet. And then when you're ready, lift your hands up and come into warrior one. This time, left hip is drawing back, right forward. Engage, sit low. And then straighten the front leg. Take your hands down. Turn your left toes in. And then heels in, toes out. Sit low into your goddess pose. Arms out. Knees are going down and back. If you need more space, take it up. See if you can drop your tailbone. And when I'm saying that, what I mean is you're engaging your core and pulling up towards your midline. Again, if you need a little bit of movement, take what you need. And also notice what happens if you remain still. All right, straighten your legs, take your hands back down. Turn your heels out so your toes are slightly in. You can take the same variation with hands on hips, or if you'd like, interlace fingertips below, behind you rather. Drop your knuckles, whichever option. Inhale, look up. And then on an exhale, hinge your way forward, keeping hands clasped if you would like. If you have your hands clasped, see, can you reach your hands up away from your shoulders and up and over? How much you do is really dependent on what feels okay. Remember to press to the outer edges of your feet, shift the weight toward the balls of your feet. If you've taken that hand clasp variation, bring your hands back down toward your waist. Then drift your fingertips back down toward the mat. Everyone's hand should be toward the mat now. Inhale, halfway lift here. Look towards the left and then pivot to the short side of your yoga mat, facing toward the front once again. Step your right foot forward, forward fold on the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Find resistance with your fingertips against something really active. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to waist, elbows point up, roll your shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, arms alongside your body. Toes together, heels slightly apart. Lift up your arms on an inhale. On an exhale, utkatasana, sit low. Inhale, come up to standing. Exhale, sit. Shift your hips, weight towards your heels. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit low. One more time, inhale, last time to stand. Last time to sit. Then drift your hands down toward the mat, forward fold. Unfurl your legs, separate your feet just a bit. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to downward facing dog, vinyasa if you would like to take one. In your downward facing dog, take 3 breaths. Then bend your knees, look towards your hands, and then hop to a seat in the middle of your mat. We're going to take a bakasana pose. So start with your knees bent, and then start to drop your knees out to the sides so the soles of your feet are toward each other. Press behind you to sit up your hips, and then shoot a little bit closer towards your heels. Take your hands to your feet. Press your knees using the activity of your legs, not with your hands, down toward the mat. See if you can shift them back. This is automatically maybe going to start to shift your heart forward. You can continue with that trajectory and lean forward. As you do that, remember to actively press down with your outer thighs toward the mat. Like just a little bit of action probably has a fairly decent, noticeable physical change. If you do come to a place where your elbows are near your calves, that is fine if you want to use that to help accentuate that. Keep your back straight and strong, best you can. Always feel free to exit the posture, reach your heart forward, and tilt forward once again. Inhale to come up. Exhale, release your hands. Take your hands behind your hips to press to the mat. Lift your hips up, scoot your back. Take your hands to the backs of your knees, and then bring your knees back up. Roll over your hands and knees till you're in a tabletop pose. Find a little bit of movement here. That might be just shifting around, or it might be taking a few cow and cat, perhaps something more elaborate. All right, and then when you're ready, when you've had just a little bit of movement, tuck your toes, reach your arms way, way far out in front of you, inner elbows point up, press the ear net, unfold to downward facing dog. If you need, rise to toes, come to top of plank pose, check out your distance and your alignment, and then lift it up and back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg up and back, tripod. On an exhale, lift up onto your left toes, pull your right knee into your chest, place your foot between your hands towards your right thumb. This helps facilitate that right hand staying down. Angle your left foot out. This time it is for warrior 2. So a wider stance, you might feel a little bit of difference in your inner thighs. Have your fingertips away from the mat, and then unwind to your warrior 2. Sit low, reach up to your inner right thigh, press to the outer edge of your left foot. Find a stillness in this posture. And then straighten the front leg. Continue to send your hips back to the left. We're going to move to a trikonasana triangle pose. Reach your right fingertips out and then take top down. Left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Rotate your right rib cage upward. Press to the outer edge of your left foot. Lift up on both kneecaps. Look back down towards your foot. And then pivot on the ball of your back foot so all toes are facing the same way. Take your both hands down for the front foot. Like we did once before, pull the right heel in and then come up to a tripod dog immediately. Bend your right knee, open up through your hips, and then if you would like, take a flip dog. Take the weight away from your right hand, your right foot comes down. Lift your hips up, reach your arm back beyond your head. On an exhale, flip your weight back. As your right arm comes down, the rest of your body will follow. You are back in a tripod dog. Release the foot next to the other, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to the top of a plank pose. And then exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. We're going to take a backwards cobra pose here. Tops of feet to mat. Take your arms out wider, elbows up onto spider fingers. Forehead is down. Inhale, prepare here, press your tops of feet. On an exhale, wind your way up, keeping your head heavy. Inhale, unfurl, keep pressing through tops of feet. Exhale, wave it back down. 2 more times like that. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, wave it up, heavy, heavy head, press your hands, tops of feet. Inhale, unfurl completely. Exhale, wave it down. Once more. Bring your hands back close into you, and then press back to a child's pose. Toes together, heels a little wider, come down. 5 breaths. After your 5th exhale, start to press your way back up to your knees. All right, bring your knees together. Your toes are touching. We're going to take a rabbit pose here. So in order to take this pose, you're going to lean forward, kind of like you're moving to a child's pose, except that your knees are together, or that variation of child's. You're going to take your hands to your heels. So reach them straight back. So your thumbs are pointing down, your palms are pointing in, and you're going to simply grasp your heels. You're going to tuck your head in, lift up and up. You can really, really roll forward. What you want to try to get is your forehead to your knees. So you're going to make that connection somehow, and you're going to start to straighten your arms. So you start to rock forward, and your voice gets very, very, very funny. Keep pressing to the tops of your feet. Hold a strong, strong grip to your heels. Continue to breathe. If you've got a lot of weight on your head, lift up, tuck in even more. Breathe. In this compressed state, can you find the calm? 2 more breaths. Then drop your hips towards your heels, unravel, and then come up to sit on your knees once again. Okay, we're going to take a camel pose prep. We're not going to go into full camel. If it's like totally your thing, then go for it, but that's what we're going to be doing right now. So come to stand on your knees. If it's more comfortable for your toes to be tucked, do that. Take your hands behind you, palms down, thumbs out to the side. Shrug your shoulders up and back. Draw your tailbone down so you're pulling your hip tips up towards your ribs. Send your gaze up slightly. Bring your elbows toward each other behind you. Actively. Deep breaths. And then release, sit low. Okay, things are gonna get so fun. So you're sitting on your knees. Now you're going to come tucking your toes. So come to sit back on your toes. You might need to use your fingers to move those little tiny bits, those tiny toes. And we're going to play with a toe stand. So your hands are alongside you. Start to lift your knees up. And then maybe you balance, hands to your knees. Bring your knees toward each other. Bring your heels toward each other. Sit straight up. And if you're looking for more challenge, perhaps you close your eyes. Okay, take your knees down, take your hands down, flip to the tops of your feet, smack them out a little bit. Again, a little bit of free time, aim your hands and knees, maybe shift them side to side, cow and cat. And then transition to downward facing dog. Strengthening breath in, cleansing breath out. On an inhale, left leg up and back. On an exhale, lift up through your right toes, pull your left knee in towards your chest and place your foot between your hands toward left thumb. Angle your right foot down, so first find the warrior two, the lower side of your body. Even drop your left hip here. Yeah. Hover fingertips away from the mat and then unwind to your warrior two pose. Wrapping your inner elbows up, palms facing down. Draw your low ribs towards your hips. Then begin to straighten that front leg and move to trikonasana. Continue sitting your hips to the right. Reach forward with your left hand and then drop it down. Pivot your way up. Triangle pose. Again, you're pulling your hips towards your ribs, so you've got lots of strength here. Let that help you twist upward, so your left rib cage is pointing up. What is happening to everything that is touching the mat? Where does it feel that more breath could be sent? Where could there be more spaciousness? Then look down towards your left toes. And then you're going to pivot all the way down, bend into the front knee, pivot so that all toes are facing the same direction. Pull your left heel towards your left thumb, and then come up to that tripod dog. Bend your left knee, open up through your hips, stay right here, or if you'd like, flip dog. Let your left hand lift up. Both feet are placed down, lift up and back. And then cycle your way back. As your left hand comes down, the rest of your body will follow. Place your left foot next to the other, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to your toes, come to the top of a plank pose. And on an exhale, lower knees up or down, all the way to your mat. Untuck toes, take your arms out to the side. Again, we'll take a cobra backwards breath. Forehead down, tops of feet down. Inhale, prepare, elbows are up. On an exhale, pulling your low belly, roll your way up. Inhale, unwind. Exhale, take it back down. Twice more your own breath. After that third time, bring your hands back in close to your body. Press up and back to your child's pose. Toes together, knees a little bit wider. If that is comfortable for you, come forward. Rest down, 5 breaths. At the end of that 5th exhale, whenever it occurs for you, start to sit your way back up. Bring your knees closer together as you sit on your knees. We're going to take rabbit pose again for the 2nd time. So lay yourself over your thighs, head is down, hands to grasp or clasp your heels again. Your thumbs are down, so pinky fingers are up, palms in. You just grab your foot. All right, bend your back like you're moving into a cat pose. Come up lots and lots and lots, so you can curl your forehead towards your knees. When you've got a connection, hands are still pressing into your heels. Lift your hips up, straighten your arms. If you find your head's on the mat, lift up again. Curl in even more. In this compressed posture, find a long, slow breath. And then start to bend your elbows, come back out, lay on top of your legs, arms alongside you, simply rest. Modified child. Then press into your hands to sit up onto your knees. We're going to take that camel prep once again. We will not be going to full camel again. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Standing on your knees, toes tucked or untucked, whatever is best for you. Hands behind you, fingertips down, elbows reaching toward each other, gazing forward. Tailbone drops down to engage your bum and your low belly. Elbows toward each other. Send your gaze slightly up. Soften your forehead. Press through the tops of your feet if the tops of your feet are touching the mat. Remember to pull your ribs towards your hips. Elbows reaching toward each other. And then release the posture, sit back onto your heels. We're gonna take that toe stand once again. So shift over onto your knees, tuck your toes behind you. Make sure that even little pinky toes are helping you out here. They're so helpful. And then as you're ready, we'll just start to shift your weight back so your knees are up. Your hands are on your thighs. If you want to get more interesting, hands to your heart, squeeze everything to your midline. If you're looking for more, close your eyes. All right, when you're ready, drop your knees back down, take your hands down, flip to the tops of your feet, find a little bit of movement. Fun? Yeah? Okay. And then come to a downward facing dog, just to get a little bit of a stretch in the backs of your legs. And then step to the top of your mat to a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We're gonna play with crow pose here. So, all that toe standing is kind of helping you out for this. So the way I like to do this is I like to start with my feet a little bit wider, hands down. I bend my knees and lift up my heels. And then I spread my hands out, or fingertips out rather, elbows back. And I'm gonna place my knees way, way, way high up into my arms. I'm gonna look forward, and I'm gonna shift my elbows back like I'm in chaturanga. I'm gonna let them be a shelf for both of my knees. Lift up one foot, lift up the other one, maybe both of them, toes touch. You can always come out of the pose, elbows back, knees up, lift up through your toes so your heels are lifted. This helps you get that extra lift as well as re-engage your core. Look forward, step back whenever you'd like. And once you're finished playing, come to sit on your knees, allow your eyes to close. Hands on your thighs. If this is not comfortable, I invite you to take another comfortable posture. We start with our head upright. All right, bump your hips over to the side, blink your eyes open if they were closed. Knees are bent, your legs are out in front of you. Your hands to the backs of your thighs, shrug your shoulder blades back, so you've got long straight spine. Send your your shoulders back, leaning back, you feel your core engaged. We'll move to a navasana pose with the knees bent. And then if you'd like, bring your arms out, palms up. Option to stay here if you'd like some dynamic movement with me. On an inhale, straighten your legs, lower, but keep your shoulders lifted, your heels lifted. Exhale, pull knees into chest. Inhale to open out, look to toes. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Twice more. And then drop your feet, wrap your arms around your shins, drop your head to your knees. Lift your head up, roll over onto your hands and knees. Press your way up to a downward facing dog. All right, on an inhale, roll to the top of a plank pose. And then come to your forearms. We're gonna move to a dolphin pose. So make sure that your elbows are below your shoulders, spread your fingertips wide. If you need to clasp your hands, you can take that option as well. You're going to start to walk your toes closer to you, hips high. Keep pressing down through forearm and your palms. Breathe. Use your core strength here. You just tried it on for size. Then maybe step in the tiniest bit closer. Breathe. Walk your feet back. Come to your knees. Child's pose, hips towards heels. If your arms feel fatigued, bring them alongside your body, palms up. I realized I was doing that for myself and forgot to offer. Lift your way back up to your knees. Realign your shins and thighs together. So you're sitting back onto your knees. On an inhale, rise to your knees, palms lift up, slight back bend. Exhale, bow, modified child's pose. Inhale, slither your heart forward, belly is down for your cow. Exhale, press up for your cat. Send your hips back towards your heels, and that modified child's. We'll do that once more. Inhale, lift to knees, palms lift, slight back bend. Exhale, bow, modified child's. Inhale, keep it low for your cow pose. Exhale, press up into your cat. Then tuck your toes, press it up and back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg toward the ceiling. And then on an exhale, pull your knee towards your right elbow and then drop it down to your wrist. And then start to swing your ankle over to the left. We're coming into a pigeon pose. Untuck your left toes, walk out your left leg. Your right knee should just be a little bit beyond your right hip. Take a look at your left foot, make sure that it is in alignment. You have a nice straight line there. Scissor your thighs together, take your hands on either side of your hips, maybe even to hover. And then start to make your way forward, using your hands to assist you, either staying up, coming onto forearms, or coming all the way down. Find activity through both of your legs here rather than making this absolutely passive. After your next exhale, start to press your hands into the mat to lift yourself up. Shift your weight over to your right hip, and then bring your left leg around. Your right knee is still bent. We come to a ustrasana. Placing your right foot into your left thigh, just as you need. Left toes are flexed, whether the leg is straight or not. Inhale, lift up, give your torso over your left leg, and then reach for your toes. Wherever you land, inhale, lift up, reach your heart forward. Exhale, deepen the posture. Inhale, lift halfway up again. And then exhale, completely release. Roll over your hands and knees, make your way back to a downward facing dog. If you need to make any movements here as you prepare for the next side, please do. You might want to take a vinyasa or something else. And then we'll prepare for pigeon on the left side. Inhale, left leg comes up. On an exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow and then slide it down into your wrist. Start to swing your right ankle over to the right. Drop your right knee, walk the leg back. Check out the alignment of both of your legs. Is your left knee slightly beyond your left hip? Look back towards your right foot. You have a straight line and don't have your ankle like flipping one side or the other. Okay, scissor your thighs together to find some buoyancy and some strength. Walk your hands alongside your hips. Maybe have your fingertips away from the mat. And then start to make your way into your expression of your pigeon pose, walking forward, perhaps fists circle up your forehead, a block, or maybe all the way down. Again, find engagement through both legs. After your next exhale, start to press your hands to the mat and begin to lift your way up. Slide your hips over to the left, and then bring your right leg all the way around for vasistasana on the opposite side. Your left knee is still bent, foot in toward right thigh. When it's the right time for you, inhale, stretch up, pivot your torso over your right leg, and then reach. Drop your hands, inhale, lengthen right hip, pulls back, reach your heart for your shin, and find more depth. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then exhale, release, come up to seated. Roll over your hands and knees to make it back to downward facing dog. If you need to take a vinyasa in after these pigeon poses, you can do that. Eventually, you'll make the way to a downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, spread your fingertips wide. Press your heels down toward the mat, spiral your inner thighs back. Engage your core. Wrap your shoulder blades away from you. Inner elbows reaching forward. Allow your head to be heavy. Loose neck. Soft jaw. And then bend your knees, look toward your hands, and just hop to a seat in the middle of your mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. I'm going to take a seated forward fold here. So flex your toes up towards your face. And then actually pull your knees in. We want to have a connection between our knees, our thighs rather, and our chest. So you're going to take hold of your feet here. If you can't reach your feet, then you're going to grab somewhere on the outsides of your calves. Make sure that your chest is pressing into your thighs. And then you're going to start to press your heels out in front of you, being careful that you always have this tight connection between your thighs and your chest. Flex your toes, start to reach forward. Simply breathe. If you notice you're coming away, bring your knees back up, bending your knees a little further. Shoulder blades down and back, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift halfway up, and then exhale, completely release. Bend your knees, place your feet into your mat. We're going to take a reverse tabletop. Take your hands back so it looks like you're going to be watching TV. I like fingertips away. You might prefer fingertips in. Press your feet and hands, lift up. Slide toe bone back so you can lengthen the tops of your thighs. Press your hands away, look straight up. Or maybe very gently allow your head to drift back. Don't like throw it back. Press your hands, press your feet, lift up. And exhale, start to lower your hips right back down. And then take your hands to the backs of your thighs and then just roll your way onto your mat. The next pose we're going to take is a shoulder stand. If there's any question that your neck will not agree with this pose, or if it's just much too much in any other way, then please take a prop and set it underneath your hips and extend your legs up, or just send feet towards the ceiling. If you will be taking the shoulder stand with me, set up like you were setting up for bridge, arms alongside your body, knees bent. Bring your knees up over your shoulders, a little bit of momentum to send your heels up, hands to catch your low back, and then start to straighten your legs. If you need to walk your elbows in closer toward each other, find activity through your toes. See if you can avoid the temptation to wiggle. Option to stay here or move toward plow pose, halasana. Start to drift your toes beyond your head. Keep your hands where they are. Maybe your toes tap down. If they are down and they're very, very secure and actually can claw the mat or the earth with your toes, then you may be considered dropping your arms alongside your body like a runway or another arm variation of your choice. We're going to reverse all the way back, coming onto our back. So if you're in plow pose, slowly roll all the way down. If you're in shoulder stand, do the same. So you're completely lying on your back. Keeping your palms down to the mat, you're going to shift your hips. You can place both hands underneath you. Fingertips spread wide, but index fingers touching and thumbs touching like a diamond. Bring your legs together. Press through shrug your shoulders underneath you. Press through your forearms, lift up. Keep your heart lifted up. Bring your head back and bring your toes together. Press through forearms, shoulder blades reaching toward each other. Option to lift up your feet. When you're ready on an exhale, drift your feet back in. Lift your chin up toward your chest and roll all the way back down. Unravel so you come your hands away from you. Bend your knees, place your feet toward each other. We're going to take a Supta konasana, a reclined down ankle pose. Let your knees drop out. You might find it's more comfortable if once you start to come down, press hands into mat, press into shoulders, lift up your hips like your tailbone underneath you, and then rest back down. If you need any other props, for example, holding your knees up, then place them where you need. If you'd like, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs and start to guide your knees toward each other. Pull both knees in toward your chest, gently rock a little from side to side. Keep your right knee in, extend your left leg out in front of you, and then draw your knee across your body for a twist. Adjust your hips and shoulders as you need. If comfortable, send your gaze out to the right. On your next exhale, take your head and knee back to center. Readjust and realign. Pull your left knee in close to you, rock a little from side to side. Come back to center, extend your right leg out, and then draw your left knee across your body to the right. Adjust as you need. Left arm comes out as a counterbalance, and then perhaps send your gaze out to the left. On an exhale, take your head and knee back to center again. Readjust so you can pull both knees in towards your chest, rock side to side. The loose grip on your shins so you can have a slight massage all the way down your back. And then the final posture of this class will be Shavasana. Please extend your legs out. Let your legs fall to the side. If there's another version of Shavasana you'd like to take, of course I invite you to do what is best for your body and for your practice. Separate your feet a little bit wider than usual towards the corners of your yoga mat. Bring your arms further away from your sides, palms up. Press to the back of your head to lift up your back, slide your shoulder blades down, and then reset. You may need to do the same for your lower back as well. Let your feet flop out to the sides, kneecaps drop. Soft calves, heavy thighs, heavy pelvis, and a soft belly. Easy breath. Shoulders release back. Notice if you're holding on to any tension, especially in your arms. Allow yourself to let go. It is not necessary for this pose. Separate your bottom jaw from the top jaw. Drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Feel hollow cheeks. Heavy eyes behind closed eyelids and a smooth forehead. on a full exhale. Inviting your dedication back into your breath and informing the movements of your body. Allowing small movements to become larger. Giving yourself space to offer yourself gratitude and acceptance and contentment. Allow that. When you're ready, roll over onto your right side, pausing for several breaths. As long as you need them, make your way to a seated posture for a brief meditation. On an inhale, reach your arms out and out. Palms press above your head, and on an exhale, bring your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart, allowing yourself acceptance, awareness, gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing part of your day with me and sharing your practice. Thank you for helping me deepen my own. In the name of the highest good, namaste. All right, everybody, unmuting.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you, guys.